Hey, MC back here again, making a video for anybody that is feeling a little bored. Well, not so much little. Here's one in my in-laws' house that hasn't seen the light of day in probably 75 or 80 years. This thing is about 18 inches wide, one continuous slab. It does have some stamping in it. Looks like a C, an A, and I can't quite make out what the next letter is. And that board is a full 1 inch thick. So, had a punching bag attached to the bottom of it. Father-in-law said that he can remember that bag being there when he was a kid. And so they moved in when he was about a year and a half old, and he's 77 now. Still got air in it. Well, SR1545 Striking Bag. The Seamless Rubber Company, New Haven, Connecticut. Made in USA. Butyl 17TB. Still has air in it. So apparently it was built pretty well. But yeah, just another old piece of history. Probably don't see too often. And I know this board hasn't seen the light of day in at least 75 years. Got some little worm chews marks in it. That would look pretty slick finished off, but for now, I'm just going to leave it out of my way, finish going about my business, put that right back where I found it at. I did get through that wall. It's 8 inches worth of solid beam. Got the gas pipe run out, dirt leg, got a piece of unistrut and clamp on it, and propane. They're going to need a 3/4 inch connection, so we'll screw the regulator on that. Chose to go here. If they ever run natural gas in, it's going to probably run in off the road, the front of the house. Underneath here, septic tank drain line comes out. Septic tanks are over here, so most likely the propane tank we're going to set up towards the front corner of the house, just off the side of this tin shed. We got to be more than 10 feet away from the edge of the roof with a propane tank. And I think we're pretty good on clearances from windows. My furnace exhaust and intakes going out the other side of the house. So up here is where I chewed through that beam. I'll get a little caulk tucked around that pipe. I've got to tie the two ends of the gas pipe together yet. But here's some more old boards that are just part of the construction of the house. So this one's a 10-inch, 12-inch wide board. And it's just a wall built in the basement. Here's another wide plank over here. That one's 16-inch. So there might be some stamping on the end of the boards. And father-in-law said this place was burnt before they moved in. So all of this char marks on the floor joists. That's from a fire 75, 80 years ago. Most likely, yeah, from the way that this boot is, looks like the fire was here before they put the heating registers in. Electrical doesn't really show any signs of charring on it. Yeah, that wood was charred before they put the electric in. That's old lath board. Probably shredded newspaper or something combustible that they threw in for insulation. or just leaves if mice or squirrels drug this stuff in. This house sat empty for a year and a half or so before then we did a little bit of remodel on it and made it habitable again. But some cool ways they tied the beams in. So this is one of the main floor joist beams intersecting with another of the main beams. And you can see where they've got some steel pins. Maybe that's wood. And those look like, yeah, that might be a wood pin driven in from above. I bet that is. Yeah, you can see where they notched it. Overlapped them. Keyed them together the way they used to build barns. Yeah, they definitely don't build them like this anymore. And then the chimney apparently was rebuilt at one point. We got some stone foundation on the bottom. And I don't think there was a liner in this one. Yeah, it does look like a clay liner. So at some point they did put a clay liner down this. I gotta cap this off. We're sealed off up above on the second floor. When they put a new roof on, we knocked the old chimney down that was falling down and just roofed over top of it. And some of the old piping, well pipe that came in from decades ago. But yeah, I'm not sure. It almost looks like they split the face off these rocks in order to get them to square up. But this basement doesn't look too bad. Granted, this is all under an addition, so we don't really have to worry about groundwater or anything pushing in, knocking that one apart. It's the outside foundations. And like this one over here where they run the well through, the water pipe through a number of years ago, they busted through that. So that's another area to keep an eye on so it doesn't fall apart. Oh, did something. Anyways, I'll get back to work, clear out more of these spider webs with my face. Next up, get this old fuel oil out of here. Get that gas pipe ready to roll. Slide the new furnace, ductwork. Ended up going with a 4-inch thick air filter with a 1-inch pre-filter. So since this house hasn't had airflow going through it in a while, I ran across this cool return air filter drop. So we've got a slot here for a pre-filter. You can drop that in the front, grab the big chunks of lint and garbage that come through, and then take the thicker allergen filter, drop that in. Easy peasy. 24 by 10 return drop, 18-inch by 25 connection to the side of the furnace. So like I said, we'll get that old furnace moved out. We'll blast a hole in the side of this new one, get everything screwed and caulked together, set her up on some cement blocks because this basement will get wet in the spring, and call for a propane tank. Oh yeah, venting. That's going to go out this other side where the old fuel oil tank sits. I got a couple of caps. The fill line's been disconnected a decade ago. Well, I don't know, probably 8 years ago when we abandoned the furnace. And the oil drum's about empty. So I'll go out through this old window frame, get my vent and intake out there. I don't know, still having thoughts about whether we drag this tank out or not. That seems like a chiropractor visit to me. Thanks for watching.